Hi, happy Thanksgiving. Lots of you have been saying that to me in the comments, and I really appreciate it. I'm having a nice day here, actually. It's really, really sunny outside, so much so that I had to shut the blind. My hands are filthy, I'm afraid. I just had a delivery of logs, and they're oak logs, and this is a real interesting thing. I didn't know they were going to be oak logs, but it just shows you how we're all kind of connected behind the scenes in some spiritual way or other. Because yesterday, Yappy Westy, hello to you if you're watching, I hope you are. Yappy Westy was telling me that millions of years ago, oak trees, well, all trees actually, used to be purple rather than green because they had a different way of processing sunlight in those days. And that struck a chord with me because whenever I handle oak, I get purple marks on my fingers. And I guess it must be a throwback to those ancient times. Makes you realise what a kind of a brief lifespan we have in this world, really. Anyway, they don't actually look purple on camera, but those are purple stains on my fingers, and they don't wash off. They're going to be there for at least the rest of the day, if not into tomorrow. Anyway, as we're into this Thanksgiving, time to do a few cards, I think, because it's just nice to relax with the cards and see what's going on spiritually around us. But also, we're coming towards full moon, and some more about that as we get closer to full moon. Maybe even do a moonology reading, actually. That'd be coolio. But today it's tarot, and I'm just going to pull a card now, turn over the top one. Oh, and it is number 18, and it's the moon itself, actually, from the Major Arcana, using Tarot in Wonderland here. And here we go now. The walrus is giving some advice here, but is the man getting the right advice? Maybe the walrus is giving the right advice and the man is taking it the wrong way. It kind of happens like that. You've always kind of got to look out for making sure you're doing the right thing when the moon card comes up, because there could be a false light. That's a fact. Now, it's never going to be a totally false light, because the light we see reflected from the surface of the moon is actually coming from the sun as it's on the other side of the planet. It's still managing to light the moon up somehow. So the sun really is the boss, whatever's going on, but is the moon reflecting the light in a positive way, in a helpful way, in a way that's actually going to help us? That is the question, my friend. Excuse me, just looking at some notes here. I like to have some notes to know what I'm going on about here. Right, anyway, subscriber giveaway, by the way. Keep on watching till the end for news of a subscriber giveaway, which I'm going to be doing all through Thanksgiving, right through until Sunday, actually. You could win your birth chart, and you can get birth charts for free from all the major astrology websites, it's true, but they don't go very deep. Mine go deep, 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 like it said in a film a long time ago. They go seriously deep. Full explanations of every planetary alignment and the asteroids as well. Full explanations of all of that, plus a chart wheel. Something like a $40 value on that, so I'm giving one of those away. If not, I might actually give 2 or 3 away, since this is spread over several days. And I'll announce the winners as we get into later in the weekend, maybe Sunday, I'm thinking. So get subscribing, because you've got to be a subscriber to win it. Leave me a comment too. That really helps. Anyway, here we go. So full moon, and making sure that things work the way we want them to is really, really important. Now, that's going to be really sharply in focus at the moment, because we're going into Thanksgiving as well as coming towards a full moon. Just checking my notes here. It's going to be a lunar eclipse on the full moon as well, you see. And so it's an intense one, a really intense one. Throws family issues into very, very sharp focus indeed. 10 degrees of Gemini is where the moon is going to be when that lunar eclipse happens. And that is going to bring a lot of uncertainty around love and money. All that kind of thing. Family issues, the old thing that we all struggle with, I think, which is work-life balance, that becomes an issue. And what do you need versus what do you want? It's a time we really have to think about that, particularly because we're all being bombarded with advertising, as I've been saying in recent times. So sun opposite moon, which is always the case on a lunar eclipse and a full moon, actually. And as well as that, we've got Venus opposite Uranus. And on top of that, There's also a really intense axis going on between the fixed stars Aldebaran and Antares, so it's a really intense time. You've got the eye of the bull there opposite the heart of the scorpion, so those are some energies really, really not to be messed with. Anyway, let's just kind of cut to a little bit I did in the car the other day. I'll be back and we'll pull some cards in just a minute. It's nearly upon us. It's coming in on Monday, the 30th of November, 2020. It's going to be the Beaver Moon, and it's kind of the last full moon that isn't part of Christmas. You know, there'll be another one before Christmas, but only just. So it's a powerful one as well. It's going to be a real big influence. And full moon is a real good time to get your manifesting head on, you know. Think about what you actually want to make happen in the world. What do you actually want to make happen in your life? Never mind the world. Actually, the two go together, you know. You manifest good things into your life, you can put more light out into the world. That's how it works. And it works very well. So get your manifesting head on for full moon, because this one is going to be a big one. And everything in nature is brimming over with energy, you know, at a full moon. And that actually includes the human psyche, the human soul. So all that energy comes in, and if you don't do something for full moon, you don't make use of that energy somehow. It's kind of like hoards the energy up. And that can lead to all kinds of dis-ease, as we call it in healing, in Reiki and other forms of healing. Dis-ease, because the body kind of gets jammed full of energy and it gets stuck, so it causes disease. And the other thing, of course, is it slows down the process of abundance, which, believe it or not, is trying to happen to all of us all the time. It's too easy to forget that, because we live lives where we're constantly exposed to the idea that we have no abundance, or abundance isn't working for us. A lot of that has to do with kind of other people in the world, with advertising. We're always aware of people who've got more than we've got, are we not? I'm even sitting here driving this car, wishing I had a car that didn't break down as much. Because this one, well, it's great now, touch wood, but it kept on breaking down. So it's really easy to assume that there's no abundance going to be happening for you, but it is. It's always coming in, it's always there. And if you use the energy, you use this full moon energy, especially if, you know, for something positive, either right on the time it happens, or maybe save it up for something you're going to do in the next few days. But don't save it up forever. Get busy, get using that full moon energy, you know. Visualize what you want and believe you can have it. And that way, whatever happens, whether you get it or not, that energy will pass forward. It'll go out into the universe. It'll help someone else who needs it, maybe. And that means that you've got space in your heart for more abundance to come in. And so you'll make the flow keep happening. Let's get reading. Let's get into the cards. We had the moon. That was the first card I pulled. That's kind of a significatory one. Now I'm going to say, as I so often do, pick a card or pick all five. I'm going to bring out 5 cards from Tarot in Wonderland here, a 5-card spread, just to kind of tell us all about what's going on. So you might want to pick all 5, but pick a number right now. If you just want to pick 1, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4, think of those numbers now, okay, before I actually start turning the cards over, which I'm going to do in a second. Okay, so first card I've got here, oh, it's Major Arcana again. We're having an intense time of it. And actually, this card has come up several times in the last few days, so I know this is really meaning something. It is the High Priestess. It's number 2 in the Major Arcana. So very, very early in the journey, the spiritual journey that the Tarot describes. Now you can see the 2 towers there, and they represent the Kabbalistic towers from the Kabbalah, the ancient scripture of the Kabbalah, which is what so much of the theory of the Tarot is based on. And those towers represent the 2 sort of pillars of the tree of life. You can kind of either go up one side or another, or weave from side to side. And if you're really lucky, you'll go straight up the middle. And that is the fastest spiritual access that there is. So Alice is doing really well here. It looks like she's going to go in between those two towers. And the thing about this card is she's actually allowed to. She's asking the priestess if she's allowed in. She doesn't know what's behind the pink curtain, but she is allowed in. She has earned it. So if you picked card number 1, or if you've picked all 5, this is very much for you. This is saying, don't worry about all the kind of tensions and stuff that are coming up over full moon, because you have actually you've earned that you're going to make your way forward, you know. And it's a kind of a solid thing that you've earned. Okay. So card number 2. What have we got for card number 2? It is the 5 of Cups this time. Here we are. Now then, Cups, longings, desires, and also water sign energy in card number 2 here. But this is actually, I'm really glad this is the second card and not the sort of heart of the matter card. But this is very close to the heart of the matter. The 5 of Cups has to do with bereavement, not as much as the 3 of Swords does. But this is really longing for something, really desiring something that you just kind of can't have, you know. The world changes all the time and we can never turn the clock back to the way it was. And I'm sure that's going to be in all our hearts and minds as we go through the time of Thanksgiving. Actually, gosh, you know, I was watching YouTube last night, as I watch it a lot, to be honest. And there's a new advert for Mickey D's. And it's like a child in a hoodie who's just kind of too old. He's kind of that early teen phase where they don't really want to have any fun, or at least they don't want to acknowledge that they're having any fun. And he keeps rejecting everything his mother tries to do for him. And in the end, she buys him a McDonald's, and so he's kind of happy again. So yeah, that's the advertising side of it. But yeah, I watched that, and it kind of made me feel a bit bad about, you know, my mother's passed away a long time ago, and she actually passed when I was very young, so I never really got past that phase. We never really worked that thing out behind us. And it kind of tugs on my heartstrings. But somehow I've got to keep going. I'm sure we've all had experiences like that. I'm sure we can all relate to that in one way or another. And a big part of me wants to do this 5 of Cups thing and keep reaching for something that you can see Alice can't reach those cups. So keep reaching for things that we can't reach. We all want to do it, but we forget there are 2 full cups there. You see, so there is hope, there is actually positivity, and the way Alice gets forward from this situation is actually by making the most of what's left in the 2 cups there. So, you know, 5 of Cups, we can't have all our cups brimming over, but at least 2 of them are, so there's something positive there, there's something actually kind of quite good there that we can work with. That's the point. Okay, a little bit more of a shuffle here. I'm not a great shuffler, by the way. I just never have been. One of those things. Whoop, falling out. What have we got? Falling out all over the place. Number 8, the Strength card. Major Arcana popping up all the time here in this reading, actually. So it sure is going to be an intense weekend that we're coming up to. And I dare say there's going to be a lot of intense feelings going on with Thanksgiving, actually. It really brings up you know, passionate feelings about things that happened in the past, and we've got to keep our focus on the future. And this card is all about that, really, because at number 7 in the Major Arcana, the journey is actually underway here, and it's taking Alice all her strength to just be cool with the situation, to be okay with it. And she's hugging a deer instead of putting her hands in the lion's mouth, which is the more traditional strength image. But the fact is, her strength is actually in her heart, in her compassionate ability to look after what's going on now, and never mind what's going on in the past. Lots of lapis lazuli colour blue in the background here, in the trees and the forest, and that's saying that spiritual help is all around us, and that's actually something else that goes very strongly with full moon in a very powerful kind of a way as well. So tune in, you know, get your higher self opened up as much as you can. Drop down into that space of meditation if you can. I'm saying drop down. We kind of drop down our breathing, we kind of drop down what our body's doing, and that really opens the mind up. Visualize that 1,000-petal lotus flower at the crown chakra coming open. Always ground yourself, always ask for some protection, by the way. I'm just also noticing these flashes of light blue here, making me think of Archangel Michael, and the fact that I happen to have chosen to wear my blue hoodie today. That kind of really is making me think, ask for protection. Always, always spiritually protect yourself. It's super important. As much as anything, it just makes sure you don't get drawn off in the wrong direction. And it means that you can put all of your spiritual strength, which is what the card's all about, you can put all your spiritual strength into what actually needs to be happening now and what actually needs to be the things that you're moving towards in the future, instead of spending half of that strength running around trying to kind of make things work the right way because the wrong things have come in. And another bit in the car coming up from me about the right things and the wrong things and the tools to choose and the tools to use. But none of that counts for anything if you don't protect yourself, okay? You've got to make the most of your spiritual strength. It's unlimited, it's absolutely unbounded, but there are absolutely no limits to spiritual progress. No matter how much energy you've got, no matter how much strength you've got, no matter how much guidance you've got coming in from the universe, you can always go further, you can always grow. There are just no limits on it. So save up your strength for what really matters, friends. That's what really matters about that card. Wow, I'm getting a sore throat again. Let me just reach for my cup of tea. I just love black Earl Grey tea with a dash of honey, tastes of oranges. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so what have we got going on with the cards? What is card number 4 going to be? Major again. I think, what have we had? We've only had one card that hasn't been Major Arcana so far, so really powerful reading this. At least I like to think it is. I'm sure it is, really, because it's not about me, it's about our spirit guides, which have been drawing us together. And thank you so much, by the way, everyone who's come over and joined in recent times. I'm over the 1,000 subs hurdle now. I tried to go live, actually, last night. It wouldn't let me because you've got to be unrestricted for 90 days before it happens. So we're kind of looking at February for that, unfortunately. But hey, the big hurdle has been passed. And the Wheel of Fortune, which we've got in this card here, has been spinning for me for a long time. And I've been wondering when it would finally stop and when I'd have my kind of 1,000 subscribers, which is what you need to really get going on YouTube, So thanks very much, everyone. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You've got a chance then of winning that birth chart that's coming up this weekend, which is well worth having, actually. Birth charts really kind of put you in touch with everything that's spinning around you in your life and shows you the kind of the things that aren't going to be positive for you, the things that are going to be positive for you, which is so much more important. And here we've got the Wheel of Fortune. It's forever spinning, it's forever turning, and I don't think Alice ever actually catches up with the White Rabbit here, but they're actually almost running together. They look as if she's kind of chasing him, but I don't know. I think they're both just trying to keep their balance on the Wheel of Fortune there. And this has been quite a year for trying to keep your balance. So as we come up to the festive season and we start looking back on the year, what's it all about is the feeling we really get. And that's actually picked up on in the card because we can see playing cards showing. I'll just come closer there. You can see playing cards showing their faces all over that. And in this deck, when you see a playing card with its face showing, that's all part of the game. That's some kind of mystery. That's something that hasn't been decided yet. But one or two of these cards have actually got the back showing, and that shows that there's some of it we can't do anything about. Some of it's already been decided, and that is usually happening in a positive way. There's a purple checkerboard, whatever you want to call it, underneath the Wheel of Fortune. And it's kind of set against a backdrop of stars in the universe, so reminding us of the importance of astrology. And also the chessboard representing the game and being purple shows that it's a game of healing, and the spiritual paths that we take through this world are all meant to be something positive to do with healing. Really? Okay, so which card did you choose, I'm wondering, or did you choose all 5? Well, if you chose card 5, or if you chose all 5, actually, this is the outcome, so this is something for you. This is number 1. It's the Magician. It's the Major Arcana again. I don't believe it. Now, we've had several numbers in the Major Arcana, but the Magician says you've got all the tools that you're actually going to need to really get things happening for you. We can see them up in the sky in the form of kind of clouds and shadows, but if you look closely, he's also got all those things in his hand. Now, the caterpillar, who is the magician character in this deck, also shows up as one of the cards, which is known as the wish card. So you can kind of make a wish and you'll probably get what you want when Mr. Caterpillar shows up. And the reason you'll probably get what you want is you've got all the right tools. You've got all of those things stacked up for you. Which reminds me of a kind of a channeled message that came to me in the car yesterday. So we'll do another little car segment here. I just want to add something in here, right? This seems quite funny to me when I think about it. Just before my car started breaking down, I decided to get one of those magnets that you see in Roman Catholic people's cars. I'm not Roman Catholic myself, and I don't subscribe to most of the Christian beliefs, but I do believe quite strongly in the saints. I think the Christian church has misappropriated them quite a lot, actually. And so I was going to put a St. Christopher in my car, and then I thought, no, I'll put St. Bernadette in, because she's kind of my BFF saint, if I'm allowed to say that. So I went online to this place that sells stuff direct from Lourdes, the big Catholic pilgrimage centre, and I ordered St. Bernadette magnet, and I put it in my car. And the car has never broken down so much in my life, you know, or in its life, or either. And I thought, come on, St. Bernadette, you've got to do something for me, please. Well, she hasn't got to, but I hope she would. And then I realised something. No, St. Christopher is who you put in charge of a car. St. Bernadette is pure love, pure light. She is an amazing worker of miracles and a very, very great healer. A healing angel, really. But she just doesn't do car repairs, you know. Maybe I'm selling her short, but she didn't seem to do any car repairs for me. Who knows? Maybe my car would have been a lot worse if I hadn't put St. Bernadette in. She's still here. I'm not getting rid of her. She's my BFF. But there you go. Always try and use the right energy. It's kind of the right saint, or use the right form of healing, the right crystals. I don't know. You can look these things up. You can find out very easily in this day and age on the internet what the best kind of course of action, what the best energy is to draw in. So look out for it. So there you are. Use these things wisely. I wondered why that stuff came to me in the car yesterday, and having pulled a few cards here, I can kind of see how it all relates now. But isn't that true of life? Stuff is always going on, and we don't know why. Good things, bad things. Things are always changing. We never know why. But when we kind of reach a turning point in the year, like Thanksgiving, like Christmas, like Hanukkah, like any turning point in anything festive going on in the year, we look back and we think about what's been going on, and we start to see a pattern to things. Some things we still can't see the pattern in, but that's because the karma, that's because the fate is still unfolding. And the better we do at using the right tools, you know, choosing the right saint if you're into saints, choosing the right crystal if you're into crystals, the more kind of appropriate we make our meditations, our actions, spiritual practices, what we do with other people, every part of interacting in this world, all builds up to make sure that the thing unfolds in a more positive way going forward. And like I said at the beginning with the moon abundance energy thing, if things don't work out this time, use that energy anyway, because it's all contributing to making things work out better next time. A quick recap of the cards. So we had number 7, strength from the major arcana. Use all your strength, you know, and that's a big thing about abundance as well. Don't hoard your strength. There's a flow of abundance, and more strength will come in if you use what you've got. Alice has got enough. Ground yourself, protect yourself. 5 of Cups. Time of bereavement maybe sometime in the past, and maybe we feel that very strongly now as we look back over the year. but don't waste time trying to reach what you can never actually reach. You see, there's water dripping out of those cups representing really, good things of longings and desires, which she could kind of lean back and drink that water somehow as it drips down if she wanted to. But the curtains are opening, there's the green colour of healing, and there's a lot of mystery behind those curtains, so there's no point in her hanging about waiting to see what happens. High Priestess! And this one is the heart of the matter, it really is. You are actually on your tarot journey. You can actually get in behind that curtain. You can go the middle way instead of zipping about from side to side. The two pillars are Bina and Shokma, which is male energy and female energy. More masculine and feminine, I suppose, the divine masculine and feminine. Those things are very closely tied up with our lives and very closely tied up with our world. But you get to go through the curtain when this card comes up. That's the real positive thing. You don't know what's on the other side of the curtain, but you get to go through and you get to find out. And whatever is on the opposite side of that curtain is something that's meant to be for you, meant to be for the people around you, meant to be positive in your life, and it will be. Wheel of Fortune came up there, so who knows, where it stops, nobody knows, but it does eventually stop, believe me. I've been running this channel for 12 years, finally got to my 1,000 subs, and, even then, I'm sure I'm about to step onto another Wheel of Fortune of trying to really kind of make it work, really make the channel sing. I can only do that with your help. I'm so, so grateful. But as this is the last card, it's the card before last in the reading, or maybe you just picked this one, there's still a game on. Things are still there to be done. Even if you manage to get off the Wheel of Fortune, there's still things to go on. And that means that good things can come in, good things that you weren't expecting, And then, of course, card number 1, the Magician. So use those tools wisely. And if you're going to invoke a saint, make sure it's the right saint. If you're going to use a crystal, make sure it's the right crystal. Thinking of that, actually, there's a book called Crystal Prescriptions. It's not so easy to find these days, actually, but it really kind of gets you in the zone for choosing the best crystal for whatever situation you're in, for whatever you're trying to manifest, whether that's healing yourself, healing a situation, bringing in abundance, and full moon is a time to bring in abundance. Whatever you want to actually do, there is a spiritual way to do it, but think carefully about which spiritual way you're going to choose. Back to the significatory card, it was the moon. Okay, there's a danger that we're being led by a false light here. That's bound to be the case because that was the first card I picked in the whole thing. Anyway, there we go. Thanks very much for watching. So I'll just recap again on the subscriber giveaway. Get subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, ring the bell so you receive all notifications because there are more readings coming up all the time. Many, many thanks to everyone who's subscribed already. If you're new, welcome. It's great to have you on board. More readings coming, more stuff happening all the time, but I'm going to wrap this one up and leave it there so you can get on with your Thanksgiving, which I hope is going very well indeed for you. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed this one. You might even have cleaner hands than me. Still got my purple oak stains on there. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment, guys. It's great to hear from you. It's great to know you're there. Excuse me, and it's great to be sharing the journey. Meanwhile, I'll see you again very soon. Peace.